Hi everybody, it's Barbie from Nellie and Ruth Designs. Welcome back. And today I'm going to continue working on the Lazy Daisy sewing journal. And I want to thank you for joining in. I want to thank all my new subscribers for subscribing. All my drive-bys, thank you. I invite you to subscribe along if you enjoy the videos. If not, that's okay too. I just figure it's nice while I work on my projects to make a little video. Maybe you can pick something up that you normally haven't seen. Maybe I can give you some ideas, give you some encouragement to make one. So, yeah, thank you. So, yesterday I spent a good portion of the afternoon. I wanted to get caught up on watching some videos. Um, I wanted to watch some movies on Amazon Prime. So I got to watch a movie yesterday while I was journaling. It was a great day yesterday. We had thunderstorms and there was a lot of rain and wind. So it was actually kind of cozy in the craft room. So let me show you what has transpired since our last video on this. I think the first video, this is part 2. Part 1, I believe I showed you the patchwork cover that I created, and then I spoke about doing some hand stitching on that, and I pulled the papers, and I put the signatures together. So since then, I've added, now again, I'm working on the 6 signatures here, and it's yet to be seen if all 6 signatures are going to be going into the journal, just based on room. But what I did was I did some stitching. The double-sided papers that I chose, I picked which side I wanted to use. And on the back side of the Lazy Daisy digital printouts, because they're just on regular paper, I wanted to make them a little bit stiffer. So I sewed the paper, I stitched this paper on, and at the same time, I included the lace. I know a lot of girls will glue the lace on afterwards. I like to make sure it's adhered. I don't like to use glue, so I stitch it right on. So I did all the stitching that needed to be done. You know, I backed all of my single pages. So all the stitching is done. That's all taken care of. So I chose this lace here, which I thought was really, really pretty and delicate. This lace here came from my mom's stash of her crafting supplies that she willed to me. This again, this is a trim, a lace that I love. I love the eyelets. I love the heavier cotton laces. And I thought this was just really pretty with this paper here. So I used that one there. And then again, I used this lace again. And I tried to do it on, you know, wherever there was a Lazy Daisy pattern. I used another piece of this lace, and I used this one here. And this one, I'm not sure. I kind of like this hanging down and out. I may trim that. I don't know. But I got all the stitching done. I got all my lace in. So in the meantime, we'll come back to this in just a minute, because the outside of each signature is going to be our feature project today, and I'll show you what I'm going to be working on there. But first, I want to show you the cover, the patchwork cover. I've been working on this at night. We've had such beautiful weather in the Adirondacks lately that I've been able to go out on our screened in back porch. And I've been doing a lot of ribbon embroidery. I bought a book on ribbon embroidery last year, and It was just on a whim. I was looking at it and I've always liked to embroider. When I was younger, I did a lot of embroidery. My mom did an awful lot of embroidery. She did a lot of crochet work. She did a lot of handiwork, or I should say handwork. And I just thought, I've seen these crazy quilts where the quilt will be made and then all of the embroidery is done on it. So this was what I wanted to do for this cover. I'm not done. And it's actually, you really, I don't want to say you really have to think about it. The only thing you have to think about is, 22, is where you want to place your embroidery. I mean, on the crazy quilts, they do it mostly on the seams here, on your patchwork seams. But then again, you'll see it trail through. And I wanted to make a real pretty vine that kind of swirled around. This will be the binding. So this will be kind of pretty. And the other thing that I have to remind myself, because you can get carried away, I don't want to do too much. And I had to set this aside because I have some leaves that I need to finish on these two little roses here. I have to take into consideration, remember, when you are making a cover, you have to take into consideration, and I'm just going to do it this way, where your cover is going to be. So this is my center. This will be my center spine, which will straddle this right here. And you're going to see where my rose, it hits kind of the edge here. You have to keep it, and I'm only doing it so you can just, you have to keep into consideration when you fold your paper over your, I may have to go with a little bit larger, not too much larger, but just enough. If I move it this way, I'm going to be off center and to pick up that rose. So I may have to add just a little tiny, another little piece of cardstock here and mend it and then make this a little heavier cover, because I do want to incorporate that rose. I should have looked before. I could have had just the one rose. I can always take this one rose out, but I really don't want to. I want to have two there. So I may just have to alter this a little bit. But this is what I've done so far on the embroidery. And I love it. I'm new to ribbon embroidery. I have been asked by one gal in particular to do a video on the embroidery. I don't know how good I am at it. But I could try little, some simple things, but I just love it. It's very relaxing, and I think it just adds an awful lot to your project. So that's where we are on the cover. Now getting back to the signatures here. Because this here, this has been reinforced, this signature, because I stitched the back side of it. So this one I can set aside. This one has been reinforced because I added a Lazy Daisy digital to that. So that's been reinforced. And then I have 4 here that have not been reinforced. So because this is just a regular piece of copy paper, this is going to need to be reinforced because I don't want it to rip and tear. So this is what I like to do. I went ahead and I took an old sewing, and I can show you what I used. I used an old sewing book, and let me grab it. I use this little book here, Sewing Magic for Teenagers. And I bought this online from a gal on Instagram during one of her little sales. And it's a really cute little book. And it had all these wonderful pages in it. And I took the book apart. And I looked at the graphics and what really pertained to what I thought to my friend in how she sews. She doesn't do a lot of clothes, but she makes a lot of handbags, a lot of backpacks, just a lot of different, she makes pillows. So I picked out some pages that I thought pertained to her. And how I want to reinforce, I did a lot of prep work yesterday because it would take too much time to do it on camera. So how I like to reinforce my signatures, if it's a page like this, I will just cut extra paper and I will attach it to this side, which will make it a bit stronger. Okay. And then once you have your other items on it, it will work out really well. And I will stitch it once I get these collaged. I will put them in here and I will stitch them. So that is what we're going to work on today. So I'm going to slip this back in here because we really don't need this signature. So I went ahead and I measured each side of the page here. And I cut my pages. I wanted to leave a little bit of the border. I cut my pages out and then see, so it'll be like this. And then I will stitch after I get them all collaged. And then I went ahead and I pulled what I wanted to do on each page. And it does take time, I really have to think things out. And it does, like I said, it does take a lot of prep work. So I knew that I wanted a pocket on one page, and I wanted a floral, and I wanted other collaged items on another page. So I went ahead and I went through all my all of my fussy cut flowers that I had done, and I picked out this one here, which I think is going to be really pretty. And then I chose this here. I tried to keep it in line as far as the coloring with the cover. And then let's see, I'll show you my pockets in a minute. And then I picked this sweet little, unfortunately, I didn't have any daisies, but that's all right, because daisies usually grow in the wild and they grow amongst so many other flowers. And then I picked out this flower here. I thought this is a lupine. I thought that was really pretty. And I have a big black-eyed Susan here. I fussy cut that yesterday. I thought that would be quite pretty in it. And that's it for the flowers. So I went ahead, I'm going to set all the flowers aside over here. I went ahead and made some pockets. So I chose the papers, not the papers, I chose the patterns that I wanted in my little material stash. I wanted to try to stick with the yellow theme for the daisy. So I pulled this pattern here, and then all I did was I cut it down, I cut it to size, and then I frayed the edges, all right? And that's easy to do by just pulling your threads. This one here is a cute little white with yellow polka dot. And then I have this wonderful muslin that is stamped. And I like this one a lot here, this Tiffany and Company. So I chose that there. And then this is the stamped muslin again. This is a Paris theme. And I cut this cute little, this came off of, I have a very large piece of material. And it has all these little crocheted, I don't know, baubles, little crocheted flowers, whatever you want to call them. And I just cut them out when I want to use one. And this one here, I already have stitched on. I didn't want to glue it on. So there's actually two pockets. I have a pocket here for an item, and then I have a pocket here. And I really like to use this stamped muslin for pockets. So this one actually is done. And then what I wanted to do on this as well, I backed it because this was just cloth and I thought it would be too flimsy. And I really didn't want to stitch, the cloth onto the page with it being frayed like this. I wanted to stitch the top, but of course you can't stitch the top if you want to make a pocket. So I went ahead and I cut a piece of cardstock to fit it. I let the fray, come over the edge a little bit. And then I stitched it right onto the cardstock. Then we can just go ahead and glue it on here. And I did the same thing with this one here. I just cut a piece of cardstock and then I stitched everything right on the cardstock. So that will help reinforce it and make it a bit sturdier. And I'll glue that on. I don't want to stitch again. I already have the one stitching, and with the fraying, it won't hold. So we can go ahead and get these glued on here because I don't plan on putting anything else on, just jazzing the sides up a little bit. And I probably should have, I'm going to turn this upside down and let this drain because I don't have a lot left, but that needs to reach its destination before I can start using it. So we'll set these aside. I'm going to set them right up there. This one is done. We'll do those after. So we can work on these here, and we can get these collaged. So I think I'm going to jazz my sides up first. And what I did also yesterday, I had showed you previously the printables, the digis from Mrs. Cog's Crafts that I'm using on this. And I ran them off on typewriter paper. And I think they just come out very pretty. They're very soft looking. So I just tore them apart yesterday with my little, I call it a tear ruler. Let me show you. With this here. And I used this side here. I got this at Creative Memories. So I used this side here. And I just started tearing these off of the sheet. And these are all little sewing themed images. And I'm going to be using those as well. These here, again, are from Mrs. Cog's Crafts. And these are all really cute little sewing sayings. And what I did to, I didn't want to round the corners this time. So I'll show you how I did these. And this is fun and it's easy. So this is how they get cut out like this. They just come in, I just cut them out in squares. So I think I'm going to use this one because she's always grabbing, it seems, the seam ripper. So I left a little bit of the white around this because I wanted to do the corners a little bit different. So I just jazzed them up a little bit with my distressed ink. And then all you do to make this little round or inverted, I don't even know what you call it, is you take your hole puncher, all right? And I do it, I use this upside down so I can actually see. And then you're just going to put it, can you see this here? Let me see. You're just going to put it in to grab a corner of it, and you're going to snip it. And that's how, and you can do it, I mean, you can go in further to make a little bit bigger one if you want. And that's how you make those little distressed, I'm going to distress the edges. That's how you make these little tiny inverted corners, I guess. I don't know what else you call them. I'm sure there's a term out there. I just don't know it. So that's how you make those. Just very simple with a hole puncher. All right. So, and then these are from Artie Mae's, and I thought these were really cute. These are little, I guess they're like little specimen sheets. I thought these would be cute to use. We could make some little tags out of these, or just use to jazz some things up. So I'm going to get started. So today is Thursday before Memorial Weekend. And I hope everybody has plans this year, and I hope you're going to get out and you're going to see family. And I'm going to try to get this up and running for tomorrow. So, because I hate to wish everybody a happy Memorial Weekend and then it plays after the weekend, so that's no fun. All right, so I just want to try to figure out I may cut this a little bit here so I can put this up here like that, because I don't like it there. Up here it really doesn't matter to me. And I can come down a little bit. But what I'm going to do is I'm going to cut a little bit more out of that so you can see that sew. And this is why sometimes things take a little bit longer to create and design, because sometimes, what do they say, the best laid plans, I don't know, not go unnoticed, but something there's. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take a little bit more off of this side here. There we go. But we have a beautiful, beautiful day here. Like I said before, yesterday we had really, we had a really cool thunderstorm. I do like thunderstorms, but boy, I don't like lightning. We have a lot of stone on our property, and we've been hit pretty hard with lightning, where it has actually come through into the house. And it's quite scary. I don't like it. There, that's kind of cute. I think that's cute. So we're going to, I just don't know, what do you think? Should I don't know if I should jazz these up around the sides or not, if I should just leave them, white. Maybe I'll just leave them white. I think I'm just going to leave them white. I don't want to get... I don't want to get too crazy. With the distressed ink. I still don't have my topper. This is just a piece of paper I have down here because the glare from my lights, it wasn't working real well today with my desk. So I had to put something down on my table. But I'm anxious for my little tabletop cover to come in. And I think it'll be pretty. All right, so I'm going to leave this here. And I'm going to slide that underneath. I went for 3 walks this morning. I got up. I was actually up early. A couple nights ago, I didn't sleep at all. I thought it was a full moon, but it was the day before the full moon, and it was shining in my bedroom window. I had a couple bad dreams, very realistic bad dreams, and I didn't want to go back to sleep. Because I was afraid I was going to... Sometimes I pick up on my dreams where I left off, and I didn't want that to happen. So I couldn't get back to sleep. The moon was so bright, shining in my window. That was keeping me awake. And then there was Dracula clouds. I call them Dracula clouds because Dracula werewolf. I should call them werewolf clouds. Surrounding the moon. And that kind of spooked me. So I ended up coming downstairs and I grabbed myself a cup of milk, and I wasn't hungry, so I didn't grab a banana. Usually I hold on one second. Okay, sorry about that. My son just came in. He forgot I was recording, and but he's more important than filming this. So I just wanted to take a short break and see him really quick. So yeah, so I didn't sleep very good the other night because of the moon. So I didn't have a lot of energy. So today I kind of made up for it with with my walks. I took my girls for a walk. I think I'm going to get rid of some of this greenery here, because I don't want it going. I want the flowers to be the main focus. I don't think we need all of this greenery, and I could use the green in another area. So I haven't been letting my dogs out very much because we are infested with ticks. And it's not pleasant at all. So it was so nice today that I thought it was a nice day, and I literally walked them right down the center of the road. We live on a very rural road. And they like to go, you know, along the side into the leaves and the grass. And so I just made sure that I walked right down that center line. See, I can use that somewhere else. We walked right down that center line, and they did fine. That put them right along the white line at the edge, and there, I think that'll be pretty there. And then I'll cut this off here. And I can only walk one girl at a time to do that. I can't take them both. So I went for 2 walks with them. And then my girlfriend called and she goes, "Hey, you want to go for a walk?" So I said, "Sure." So I basically spent my whole morning walking. And I got home at noon. And that was after my gym workout. All right, I like that. So I think what I will do is I'm going to glue this here. I'll tack this. I'm going to tack that there like that. And then I'm going to tack that there like that. All right, and I've got that all in place. Now I can all right, so I'm going to start here with this and go around. So I hope everybody has a really nice weekend. We're just hanging. We have a really busy June and July. Super busy. And so it's nice just to, I'm just going to run a little bead down here because I'm not sure how far this is going to be over here where I cut it. So, and I'm going to grab a book because I don't want to do this on my paper because I don't want to get glue on it. to come down here because I want that cloth guide. There. That was kind of awkward, wasn't it? I got some glue and some spots that I didn't want to have it get on, but looks like it comes up pretty good. There. My girlfriend that I'm making this for, we're actually getting together this weekend for a cookout. And I have to be careful because we're always talking crafts and sharing our projects. And I'm so afraid I'm going to slip up and go, oh my gosh, I did this on your book, or I worked on this, and I have to be careful. She's making me something. I don't know what. She sent me a text a couple weeks ago, and she says, do you like the color pink? I'm like, yes. And that's all I heard. And then I sent her a picture. I said, I hope you like yellow. And I sent her a picture of a really close-up piece of the material I was working on. And she just put question mark, question mark, question mark. She knows I sew, but she probably think I'm making her a outfit or something. There. All right, so we have that down. I think I was going to put this right there. I like that. And don't let me forget to, I got to jazz this up a little bit too with some distressed ink. Yeah, let's see here. The cloth guide. I guess we can put a, we can do a, that might be kind of fun to put that up there. The measure twice, cut once. There. I don't want to cover the flowers up anymore. Maybe I should just leave it like that. I think I'm just going to leave it. I don't want to overdo it. I don't want to. That's the worst thing that you can do. My dad was a decorator. He was an artist. And he used to do store windows, decorate store windows. And he taught me a long time ago that less is more. Don't overdo. It gets too cluttered. There, that's pretty. All right, so that one's done. Now, because this one here is a little bit lighter, I may use some of these dark the dark digis around it, maybe to bring it to a little bit more to life. So let's see how this is going to work out. But I could, this is just a very relaxing, I don't know about you, to me it's a very relaxing process. Yeah, like that. I don't know whether to have this more up, or the leaves to be more like this. I don't know. What do you think? What do you think? I don't know. I think maybe at the angle. And if you haven't gotten any of, I think that's pretty, any of Mrs. Cog's digital downloads, you should. She has quite a few sales, but her images are really, really pretty. And especially on this typewriter, on the typewriter paper. If you can get your hands on some, I like that a lot. And, you know, I think I wasn't going to open this up. I don't know. That's another, well, maybe I'll just leave it like that. I don't want the printing to come through. So I'm going to leave it like that. But I really do, I really, really do like all of the digital images that Mrs. Coggs has. I just think they're they're just me. You know, a lot of girls like the cutesy, kitschy, you know, little deer, all that kind of stuff. I go for more of the botanicals and the sewing and bring that down a little bit more. And you kind of have to work fast with this art glitter glue. See, that's not going anymore because it does dry quickly. Oh, there we go. I don't want any little bubbles there. There. And let's see if we're going to add, this is where we might be able to add a little. So this is hemming. Common thread through the eye of a needle. There, the eye of a needle. Let's see, what else do we have? My sewing room isn't messy. It's just all cut. It's all out on display. Keep calm and grab the seam ripper. Let's look at some of these over here. A clean house is a sign of a broken sewing machine. Ripped to shreds, and so it begins. That's cute. Sharp as a needle. Loose ends, you call it empty nest. I call it a new sewing room. So much fabric, so little time. Happiness is a full bobbin. So this is a hemmer. Falling apart at the seams. I only printed out one. Oh no, I printed out two. I can dig it out. All right, a needle and a haystack. All right. There's nothing on here that pertains to hemming. So I can use one of these. So I think I'm gonna use this one. The So Much Fabric, So Little Time, because that really fits the bill for my girlfriend. She works full time, and she is very busy. She actually gets up at 5 in the morning to get in her craft room and get some things done before she heads to work. Her dad lives in New York City, and he's always requesting. He belongs to a lot of theater groups and retirement fun places. And, you know, she makes a lot of t-shirts. He'll request t-shirts with certain things on them for the groups. And, you know, she was making masks by the 18 gazillion dozens and sending them, you know, to Brooklyn. So this girl has got a lot on her plate. There we go. And she just doesn't have enough time. So this is very apropos for her, this saying right here. And I'm moving this over a little bit just for the fact that, remember, I said I'm going to be stitching, and I don't want to catch the end of that. All right, so that one's done. Isn't that pretty? I think it's pretty. All right, we've got 2 more. I think we've got time. Yep, it's 2:20. I planned on doing an hour video for this, so we have time to get these other 2 done. And then I will get these sewn together, and I will show you what we can work on next time, because I have that all prepped and cut out. And it's just more of the Lazy Daisy kit. All right. All right, let's do this here. Let us do this here. Let's see if I have something. I want to put these 2 together because those are the stitching. Maybe this would. I don't know. What do you think? You like that? Or go back to this? Maybe go back to this with a little that there. And we could just do a sample 27 right there. Yeah, I think that's good. Yeah, I think that's pretty. A little ticket. Maybe that there. Okay. All right, so let's get this down first. We'll slide that underneath. Let's see. Let's memorize. Let's put that corner right there by her thumb. There we go. All right. Oh, we had our pool opened this past Monday. So I had Jimmy, my pool cleaner. I've got a automatic pool cleaner that I throw in, and I named him Jimmy. So Tuesday morning, Jimmy was up at the butt crack of dawn cleaning the pool. It's always hard the first few days because we have so much pollen. That's why I don't like to run anything through my filter. I don't hand clean it anymore, just because of that. So Jimmy was doing a great job getting it clean, but I had to keep backwashing the pool because the pollen has just been brutal in our neck of the woods, and it would just clog everything up. So it wasn't too bad. So now tomorrow I've got to go down and I have to take a water sample and just make sure I get that clarity and I get it all balanced. But I'm ready to sit out by the pool and read my book. I started a new book. It's a 4-book series, and unfortunately, I read book 3 first. I didn't realize it was a series. And I really enjoyed book 3. I wouldn't have known that it was a series. I think they can kind of stand on their own. So I got book 1, 2, and 4, and I started book 1. There, I started book 1. Oh, and I gotta grab, which one did I have on there? Did I have, no, I don't remember which one I had on here. I don't think that was the one. Gosh dang it. I think I was going to use that one. Measure twice, cut once. Yeah, because she's cutting up there, so. Yeah, so I started this new book, and I really like it. I mean, I knew I would. I liked book 4 or book 3. There we go. So that one's done. All right. All right, last one. Yep, 10 minutes to go. So we're good. All right, so this one, I'm going to add this lace down the side. I thought that would be pretty. And I'll be able to catch that with the sewing machine. So I'm only going to glue one side down, tack it down. And then if I have to go back and glue more, after, I can do that. But I'm going to put this here. And we'll see what else. I don't think I'll be using any of these on this one or this because it has these 3 images. So these I'm going to just set aside. No, don't want to do that. I really like the lace, but it's really not showing up either. Maybe I won't be using the lace. Let's see what our other options are here. Let's see what our other options are. The sewing machine oil. I don't mind if I cover that up. Find a round and around and around she goes. Where she stops, nobody knows. Hmm. Do that. I'd still like to incorporate a little bit of this lace here. I don't know. What do you think? Maybe I could just put a little bit here. Let me cut that. That might be kind of pretty, just to have a little snippet of it. Oh, come on, Barbie. Let's see here. Yeah, I think that would be pretty. It just adds a little more texture to it. I could add just a little bit up at the top as well. All right, let's see. Yeah, I think that'll be good. I think that'll be pretty. Yeah, I think that'll be nice. All right. I'm just going to clean this up here a little bit. I know this is probably annoying, and I'm sorry. But I can't help it. There we go. There, that's better. Okay. All right, so let's get this glued down first. And I'm not going to, all right, so we're going to put that just above the two edges where it says two edges. Just above the two edges right there. And I had that underneath. Like that. Okay. Sorry, I'm quiet. I just want to get this done. In a relatively quick manner, so I still don't know how some gals can work in their 30-minute time frame. It just amazes me. And they get done what they get done. Now, did I have... This is where my mind kind of... Did I have that on there? I don't remember. All right, so I must have had this up here because I remember thinking to myself, this will meet with that. I think I just had that up there. You don't need to work on puzzle crafts or puzzle books if you're a crafter because, oh my goodness, the things that we have to remember. Where we place our stuff. All right, and then I'm going to set this aside and I'm going to get out my Eileen's. And I'm going to tack this down with the Eileen's. And I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to get this in place first. And then I'm going to tack it down. Like this. I'm going to do it like this. Okay. And then let's get the top here. I just don't want that to bleed through. And I'm going to do the same thing here. I got to just snip this. I'm going to put this here like this, and then I'm going to lift it up. Get a little bit on there. Get that down. And I'm not, remember, I'm not doing the insides because I'll be stitching along there. I'm just getting these little spots right here. There. Because I'll be stitching a zigzag all the way around, and I'll catch all of that. All right, so that is done. If I can keep my sticky fingers off of it to set. All right, so let's move this stuff aside here, and we'll just so these here, I can get these tacked down really quickly. So these are our pages that will be going into the signatures. So we will have, I'm going to set this one aside because I don't want to get glue on it, on anything else. So we will have one on one side, and then we will have one on the other. And then I'll stitch around these, and then these will go back in the signatures like this. And then we'll have a complete page. So these I'm going to, this is no big deal. I'm just going to use my Fabri-Tac to tack those down afterwards. But this is what we were able to get done today, and I think they all came out quite lovely. And they're all set and ready to go into the signatures to reinforce them. So there you have it, everybody. Thanks for joining in today. Thanks for collaging along with me, and I'll see you in my next video. Bye-bye.